You know you should exercise. You know you should sleep more. You know you should stop eating the thing that makes you feel terrible afterward. You know exactly what you should do. So why don't you do it? This isn't a motivation problem. It isn't a discipline problem. It's a brain architecture problem. And once you understand it, everything changes. Here's the thing most self-help books get wrong. They treat the brain as a single system. You know something. You act on it. If you're not acting, you must not know well enough, or want it badly enough, or believe in yourself enough. But the brain doesn't work that way. There are two distinct knowledge systems, and they operate almost independently. The first system handles declarative knowledge, facts, concepts, intentions, plans. This is where your "I should exercise" lives. It's processed primarily in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex. It's conscious, verbal, accessible. You can write it in a journal, tell a friend, repeat it in your head. The second system handles procedural knowledge, habits, automatic responses, conditioned behaviors. This lives in the basal ganglia, deep in the brain. It's unconscious, nonverbal, and runs on repetition and context. This is where your actual behavior is generated. The critical point: these two systems don't automatically talk to each other. Knowing something consciously doesn't install it in the behavioral system. Information doesn't become behavior just because it's been understood. Neuroscientist Larry Squire at UC San Diego spent decades mapping the brain's memory and knowledge systems. In a landmark 2004 review published in Neuron, Squire distinguished between declarative memory, explicit, conscious knowledge, and non-declarative memory, implicit, procedural knowledge that drives automatic behavior. The key finding: these systems are neurologically separate. They can even work against each other. A person with amnesia who can't remember learning a skill can still perform that skill. A person who intellectually knows something can still behave in ways that contradict it entirely. Cohen and Squire first proposed this distinction in 1980, and it's been replicated across decades of neuroscience research. The basal ganglia, the brain region central to habits and procedural learning, doesn't receive inputs from the hippocampus in ways that automatically translate conscious insight into behavioral change. This is why therapy can give someone complete intellectual insight into their patterns. I know I do this because of my childhood, and the behavior still continues. The insight is in one system, the behavior is in another. So what actually bridges the gap? Not more information, not deeper understanding, not motivation podcasts. The declarative system is already full. The bridge is repeated experience within a consistent context. The basal ganglia learns through repetition in specific environments. It doesn't read intentions. It reads what you actually do repeatedly in the presence of specific triggers. That's how it builds behavioral routines. This means: 1. Stop trying to motivate yourself into action. Motivation is declarative. It lives in the wrong system for behavior change. Act first, even badly, even briefly. The behavioral system learns from the action, not from the decision to act. 2. Use context to anchor the new behavior. The basal ganglia is context-sensitive. "I will exercise after I pour my morning coffee" is more effective than "I will exercise more." The routine needs a cue in a real environment, not a floating intention. 3. Expect a delay between knowing and doing. You're not failing. You're waiting for repetition to install the behavior into the procedural system. It takes weeks of consistent repetition, not a single powerful insight. There is no character flaw in knowing what you should do and not doing it. That gap is neurological. It's structural. The brain's knowledge systems were not designed to automatically synchronize. What you know and what you do are stored in different places. Changing behavior means working with the right system, the procedural one, through repetition and context, not through understanding and intention alone. More information was never the answer. It was never supposed to be. If this explains something you've been frustrated about for years, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you for staying until the end. Your time is valuable, and I genuinely hope this was worth it. If this video left you with something, a thought, a shift, a question you didn't have before, a like helps it reach someone else who might need it too. And if you want to keep going, subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in the next one.